What's going on, guys? Emo Tempest here, and today we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy VIII, some spoilers, and some of the synergies we have coming up in Opus 9. I'm actually super excited about this. If you guys have been with me since the beginning, or if you've been keeping up with any videos I've ever posted, you'll know that Final Fantasy VIII is by far my favorite. So I've been really excited to try to make this deck work. I'm glad that I guess that I want to say that maybe they're going in order, but so last set we got Opus 8, we got 6 and 7, and now or 6, 7, and well, it's been kind of going on 6, 7, and a little bit of 9 also, right? Or 9 and 7, and we're getting more stuff from 6 and 8 in this one, and it's cool that these decks are growing, and I just love I love seeing the way they're developing. 6 is very popular right now. 7 did a lot of stuff. In Opus 8 meta, it's doing things. They're viable decks, right? And I'm hoping now that with all these new cards and stuff that we can talk about, that just we're gonna be able to make a deck out of Final Fantasy VIII, something that's consistent, playable, and hopefully as competitive as some of the other things going around there. But before we start, definitely shout outs to Happy Little Hug Factory. They're already taking Opus 9 pre-releases orders. Make sure to get in there. I'll leave a link in the description below. Also, this deck is going to be mad fun. So let's get into it. First things first, we're going to go talk about our searchers. Also, some of these images are all obviously screenshots from other people's things, so some of them will be blurry, mostly the spoilers, obviously. Let's talk about our searchers. So we have a couple that we're going to talk about, but so these are the ones that I think are going to be the important ones, and here's where we're going to have to start making decisions in terms of colors. So the colors that we're going to have to worry about are ice, fire, some wind, and lightning. And those are wind is probably the least of our concern, but there is things there. So Quistis is the new Opus 9 card that I think is going to really help change the deck. If you ask me, it's similar to the way the Barret helped the 7 deck. It's going to be very important. So when Quistis enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add a category 8 forward of them and to your hand, and return the other cards to the bottom of your deck. And then the job seed candidate forwards you control gain 1,000 power. That's just flat. So that's cool. She's gonna help us filter, get our Squall or Cypher, or Laguna, and anything else. Maybe our Renoas if we're playing them. And then she has a level question mark death. S ice tap, reveal top card of your deck. Break all forwards your opponent controls with the same cost as the revealed card. Add the revealed card to your hand. That's insane, right? I can Yule. There's so many possibilities there. It potentially has a border wipe, right? And if not a board wipe, it's definitely a high level removal technique, right? It's an S. And so it's not bound by Ishtola, and I guess it could be messed with in some ways, but there's always ways to work into it. And so we all know Zalura is good for 3s, for dull stuff, and then of odd numbers, of prime numbers, or whatever. There's just tons of things, right? So we have a searcher and a board wipe in one card. That's kind of going to be a big deal for just hitting off the checklist when building a deck, right? So I think that's why she's going to be good, and she's EX burst, right? So it's it has 3 points there that we're looking for a decent card, something to kind of base the deck around, and it's going to be Quistis. Now we also have to, and she's a forward too, so it's a body at the same time. I know the power gain is going to be nice for that in that regard, because these colors that we're playing with don't have anything other specific to give a buff, so it's going to help them with the anthem in that regard too. Now we have to talk about the other ones. So we have Renoa. This is Opus 2. It's been a while. We've never actually used this other than in title. And when Renoa enters the field, you may search a category 8 forward and add it to your hand. So you can effectively play Renoa into search the Quistis. The Quistis will get you something else. It's kind of I don't want to say it's the Aiko Steiner thing, because we have something else like that in a sec, or the Aiko or the Sid and Setzer, but it's very close. There's less cost and more value in this, I think. So that's one way. We also have Selfie here, and she's from Opus 6. Search a job seed candidate. So it's not as broad as the other two, but it is an EX burst, and it is on a 3-cost backup that we usually kind of go for when we're putting in our searchers. They're all 3 costs, right? It's just if they're EX burst, they're probably more specific, and if they're not EX burst, they're straight for the card. And if you notice, like if they're forwards, it's usually if it's a forward, it's usually like a broader sense too, like so like the 8 forward that Quistis is getting here, similar to Setzer and stuff like that. So yeah, these are going to be good for the deck. This leads me to believe that the strongest deck will probably be Fire Ice, which is going to be cool. But because of these Quistis and Selfie being EX bursted, I'm kind of thinking it might take the same turn that the 7 deck did. That we found it's probably best to have a lot of like really impactful EX bursts in the game. So that's going to be one way. The second set of searchers we have is one of these new cards. It's Laguna, 5-cost Laguna. He's more of a general searcher, but he is an 8 forward. So yeah, when Laguna enters, you may search for an ice forward and add it to your hand. So he is going to be able to get our Squalls, our Renoas, and even our Ultimecia if we wanted it. So it's not bad. But this kind of plays with that Setzer thing, right? So we can get, like kind of what we're used to, right? We'll get a 3 into a 5 into whatever, right? But that only works with the Renoa, and then Quistis can get him, but it's a forward for forward. So there's not much development there. But that's just one way. I just wanted to talk about Laguna. I don't know if he'll make the cut, honestly. He's not the worst card, but there will be better ways to search our pieces. And more efficiently. We do have the Fujin that specifically searches for Cypher and gives Cypher first strike. Cypher is going to be, because he is a seed candidate across the board, he is going to be very important for the deck. I don't think it's going to warrant playing the Fujin, but I just wanted to kind of touch up on, another searcher that we have here. And the problem is too that I don't think, unless we get more wind cards, I don't think the Lightning Wind or the Ice Lightning, Ice Wind, a tricolor deck is in the future. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. And then Laguna, another Laguna, and he just searches for Squall specifically. Now again, he might be useful because he's a smaller curve and it's more specific. Because Squall is going to be our one of the important cards, one of the important forwards going down the line, and we'll talk about him in a sec. But I don't know if it'll warrant playing a 3-cost Laguna for that. Again, because we have so many better options to search for it. So again, in terms of searching, it's really deciding Quistis for sure, and then Renoa or the Selfie. Now let's talk about the forwards, right? Now we obviously said that Squall is going to be these guys are going to be our main ones: Squall, Laguna, Cypher, and in my opinion, these would probably be the best ones to use. So we have the new Squall, which is what really got me excited. The cost required to play Squall onto the field is reduced by 1 for each category 8 forward you control. So just playing the Quistis and running into him, he's already a 3-drop 8k, and then when he enters and attacks, you can dull something. So he has that same built-in effect that like Snow has, or like Laswell does now. When he attacks, he can dull and freeze something or whatever, and at first we didn't. As long as we're utilizing the entering and the attacking part to the best of our abilities, it's like gonna be very good to have him. So it's kind of like dealing with that Diana thing when we hate it. We leave 2 forwards out because 2 active forwards out anyway because we want to leave defenders up for our next turn. But then my opponents will drop Diana and then they'll drop Alba or whatever, and then dull them both, and I'm going to deal with it, right? It's the same thing here. So, leaving 1 forward isn't going to be enough anymore because of Squall. And that's something that people are going to have to start, taking in account when playing ice matches. I don't have to play Snow anymore, I think, because I have this. And to go along with that will be Laguna as well. When he enters, you can choose a forward, dull it. And if Squall is on, you can freeze it also, right? And he's EX burst. So that's going to go with what I was saying about having a heavy EX burst count in this deck, because that's already 9, right? Let's say we're playing, hypothetically, obviously, let's say we're playing 3 Quistis, 3 Lagunas, and then the 3 Selfies, just so we can just get in the numbers. That's 9 EX bursts aside from whatever else I decide to play in the deck. Fire does have decent EX bursts, and they're getting more. Ice, not so much, but they have some. But it's still going to be there. And then Laguna is going to be at 9k while Squall's out. So you have an 8 and a 9. One comes in, dulls and freezes. The other one can dull as he's attacking. It's very, very strong there. Now the other seed candidate is the Cypher. Cypher, when Cypher blocks or is blocked, he reduces power to a forward, and if you let him go through, he reduces power to your board. He's always been a great card, a little underpowered. We can all agree. Quistis will get him to that 7 that we like him at, so that kind of makes him a little bit better. It also helps just with board presence too, like because he's always going to be like, I don't want. It's kind of like Rain, right? It's a smaller, like a little. I don't want to say weaker, but almost this threatening version of Rain, right? Because you don't want to block him because he will take anything down pretty much, and you don't want to give him the damage because he just makes your whole board weaker, and that kind of sucks, right? So he's definitely going to go to the deck. Again, that's why I'm leaning towards. Well, I know I said Fire and Lightning, Fire and Ice, excuse me, but now Ice Lightning seems very viable too. Just because that would leave us open to add the Renoa and the Quistis. See, there's a couple things here we're gonna have to figure out. And you guys better believe that when I get the cards, we're probably gonna build the deck right away, and that'll be the first thing we talk about Opus 9. Now we have the other problem though, right? Is which Renoa to pick, and we do have the backup, which is obviously very important. But then we have our new favorite Renoa, the world's favorite Renoa. It's just give you the option to play something again. Now we don't have a lot of targets, but being able to play even if I just hit the Quistis again, right? Like I attack with Quistis, and then just do it again, I'll have another search, another body, and then she's at 8. Now Renoa's at 8k also, right? Still very good. Same thing for the Squall, same thing for the Lumina, same thing for anything else we have, right? Even if we're playing the Ultimessias down the line, this Renoa is going to be the one to go for. But now we also have to consider this Renoa too, the old legendary, the Opus 2 legendary, for each category 8 forward, other than Renoa you control. She gets 1,000, so she can be anywhere between 7 to 10, roughly, if we're lucky. Maybe more, like just with Quistis and her alone, she's at 9k. And if she gets hit, if she gets sent to the break zone, do all forwards, right? So that's going to always, being able to do that to your opponent's board at any given time is always going to be a problem. So it might not be the same combo, but there's also doing this into Ultimessia, like doling everything and then bringing back the Ultimessia to freeze everything, leaving your opponent super like, yeah. And then with the other Squall just attacking and doling, right? It's going to be super. There's a lot of things there, right? There's a lot of like synergy there that's going to be explored shortly. We've touched. I've personally kind of messed around with these decks a little bit, but I feel like there's been something missing, and I'm hoping Quistis is that thing. So honestly, leave me a comment in the comments. Like, say something, guys. Let me know which one of these Renoas do you think will probably be the highest choice for the deck. I'm open to any and all suggestions. For right now, honestly, I'm leaning towards the Searcher because I don't want to play, because I don't think Quistis is enough. But that's just me. Now we have the other like combos, right? So we have the Cypher that searches our witches, right? And I know we have the other legendary L Witch that I'm not even going to worry about, right? But she is lightning, so maybe this will work in the future. But I want to touch more on the 8 stuff, right? So our favorite combo is obviously for this Cypher to search Ultimessia, the ice one. And now we have the water target, which would be cool too. It's a 4 to search a backup, which is always great in terms of developing board. But then, like, if we wanted to, we could obviously search this other Dea, and then that's when the synergy starts happening, right? Like, if I have any of these Ultimessias in the grave, and I have this Dea on the board, I can already start doing stuff. Now, I know we were saying Ice Lightning, and I can play the Yule for the Quistis for her level 10, right? But let's say we do, we have the Yule and we have this Dea, and we have the Water Ultimessia in the break zone. Like, why would we do that? Because we can, right? Like, it's always like all these decks lately have been splashing in multiple colors just for like, for more, I don't want to say diversity because that's not the word, but more like options, I guess. And so playing a 1 or 2 of this Ultimessia won't hurt you unless you're like super like strapped for colors. There's also the possibility that we're going to get more backups that have multiple colors. Or honestly, we could even start going tricolor. We have to start considering that a tricolor deck is going to be an option because of like stuff like Cosmos and like the new forward, the new legendary that we saw, the Mobius Chaos, as well as the backup Moogle that produces wind and ice. So I'm very confident that there will be a few more, or at least another variation If not, I'm not saying that there'll be every color combination, right? Because that's too many backups to throw into a set at once. But I think across this set and the next set, we're gonna get them all, I think. So if we get one that says ice and water, or fire, or lightning and water, or something like that, then having that one with the regular ice backups that we have is gonna be okay. I don't know. That's another. That's a lot, right? But anyway, so pitching Idea to bring back the Ultimecia. Once we've viewed, we'll know what we're getting on top, and that's just the play that we're gonna need. Like, let's say I am playing, I don't know, Veritas or the old-fashioned Nidhogg because I'm doing the Renoas. Either one is a good choice, but being able to do that in anticipation, even whatever my opponent gets is fine too, right? But knowing what I'm getting is gonna be just as important. So setting that play up is good. But then there's always the Idea into the Ice Ultimecia, which is just great, right? Like on 6 damage, we're in there for the clutch. We're going to, freeze all forwards and all backups my opponent controls. Then I have Renoa, and then I play Renoa also, and then now everything of yours is frozen, and I have, like, forwards, and it's just great. And yeah, that's that's part of it, right? Like, again, so Cypher gets us all these cards and more. And then we have these plays here. It's just, and then don't even get me started on the new Water Ultimecia's ability to choose a forward and put it back on top of its owner deck. So we only have a few cards like that. I think Guido's one of them, but it's only 5 cost forwards. That card's terrible, so no one knows exactly what it does and why it's good. It's actually not, but this card it gives us another option. It breaks itself too, right? So even if we don't need that water for the rest of the game, it'll get rid of itself. But only if we're allowed to, if we have water cards to pitch. But being able to put something on top of its owner's deck not only ruins their next turn a little bit, because they know what they're gonna get. If it's nothing impactful that they'll have to maybe something big. I don't know. It's something nice, It kind of ruins one of their next draws, and so it just kind of helps you out a lot. And then we have the extras. I just wanted to touch up on them, give you guys some words of, I don't know, wisdom, I guess, or words of interest for these cards. We have this new Idea, EX Burst. When Idea enters the field, choose an active forward opponent controls. Deal 1,000 damage for each lightning carrier through you control. It's a 4/8. It's not bad. I like that she's EX Burst. She can effectively take stuff down with her, or take stuff down as she's coming in, which is cool. She would go well in tandem with the new Ramu that says equal to your lightning backups, I think, or it's it's just a lot of based on characters you control, sort of, and so she's not bad. But dropping her and then having a Rigdia in play is good. It's like a 2-card play, assuming you have 4 backups. And then dulling stuff. I don't know. She's pretty good. I don't think she's gonna warrant me playing the other Idea for her, and so that's not gonna be okay. I can't remember the ruling. I'm pretty sure you can't do that anyway. So, but yeah. So, and then there's this Irvin. The Irvin is really interesting, but it's super weird. I don't know why it's not better than the other one. I don't think. When Irvin enters, choose a forward, deal at 5k. If the number of forwards your opponent controls is greater than the number of forwards you control, deal at 7k. So it's 4 for potentially less damage. And if I just wanted to do 7k, why don't I play the other Irvin, right? The other Irvin just says, it's 6, right? When Irvin enters the field, choose a forward, deal at 6k. I guess that's what I'm forgetting. I thought it was 7. But it's still very, I don't know, I wouldn't pay another CP for another K of damage. I don't know, not for a backup anyway. It's not. I don't think it's worth it. But I don't know. I could be wrong. People like it. People might like it more. I don't. And this 2-cost Cypher in a more lightning based, or even I'm actually excited for this one because of title. Because as long as you're a witch, he's a 2-drop 8k, and that just makes him. And if you're playing the battle committee or whatever, that's 2-drop 8k haste first strike. And that's gonna make him really good in I guess in the title anyway. The Cyphers with all haste and whatever, and yeah, it's gonna be good. And that wraps it up, man. I'm telling you, mostly excited for the Squall and the Quistis. I think they're the cards that are very important that change this. What are things that we're missing though, right? Let's talk about our wish list, if we will. The Quistis says forwards, and we have Selfie for seed candidates. What other seed candidates are we missing, right? Or what other forwards are we missing? We need a new Zell. The current Zells are decent. but I don't think they're impactful enough to like surpass them, make the deck like better. And then what are our other forwards? We're looking for another Ward, another Kyros maybe. I would be super fond of a new forward selfie, leaving me more room to play the 3-cost backup Renoa and the 4-cost one, and then you Quistis obviously. But yeah, those are the things we'd like to see, obviously. Let me know what else you guys are interested in, hoping they pull out more. I know I have 8 fans out there, so don't be afraid. We're getting the remake finally. Not the remake, the remastered version we saw in E3. If you guys haven't, let me be the first to tell you that Final Fantasy VIII is getting the remastered, hopefully before the end of the year. They said it would be by the end of the year, so we can look anytime between now and Christmas. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I hope you're excited about this as I am. I'll catch you next week, and yeah, let's talk then.